Okay, it's recording.
All right. So now that we've all discussed our niches, I never know where I hear things or see them. They click in my head and that's that. So I heard that you don't ever want your Facebook or your social media or your Twitter or whatever social media platform you're using to ever look like salesy. You don't want it to be all Beachbody. You don't want it to look like that's all you do, because Beachbody is not your entire life. It's part of it. And so if I scroll through your Instagram or your Facebook and I don't know your Beachbody coach in the first 30 seconds, then we need to talk, because you want people to know you're doing it, but you want people to know that you're also a human and you do other things, and that's where those niches come in, because you want to post about other things besides Beachbody, but you also want to post about it too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called 12 different types of posts, and we talked about it in our other upline group, and it just talks about the different things you can post about, your food or your niche or whatever for the day. And I think you're only supposed to post about Beachbody one time a day. So find those other things that you can post about. I know me and Carissa had this conversation a while ago. She was like, can you look at my Instagram and see what you think? And so we looked at it and I was like, it looks really good. And at first I was like, we're posting too much about Beachbody. Let's back it up a little. And then I looked down and I was like, you were doing great. What happened? But before, you were posting about everything, and we were, engaging in other different aspects, which is really, really good, because then people don't think of it as salesy. And then it all somehow shifts to just Beachbody when you sign up as a coach almost. Because I know I had that shift. I was like, oh, Beachbody, I'm so excited. I just want to post about this, and that's all I want. And then people are like, unfollow, unfriend, you will see them start trickling off. So you want to post about your different niches, not all in one day maybe, but make sure you're posting about different things, not just Beachbody. And I would talk about the 12 different types of posts, but we don't have the file because we didn't plan very well. All right, that was my segment.
Okay, so yes, I just ate a French fry because it's sitting in front of me.
That is not approved.
Yes, I ate a French fry. Okay. All right. So the next segment was talking about hashtags, right? That's what we're discussing. So this whole niche thing, we kind of brushed up on it in our last video about, in our last conversation about using these hashtags. And why it's so important to know your niches is because that's kind of what you're going to be using your hashtags during each post. I just actually signed up for Jillian Johnson's Instagram Academy that she has. So I'm going to be learning a lot about these hashtags and all that stuff and how to use them. Carissa, what'd you say?
I've been wanting to do that. Every time I see sponsored on my news feed, I'm like, oh, because I listen to it in the car all the time.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about doing it, but I didn't know if it was going to be worth it, or I just keep forgetting to go back through. I'm like, oh, I'll just sign up for it later.
Yeah. So I did her free webinar that she had. And then after the webinar, I signed up for the Academy. It was $100. And I was like, it's a chunk of change, but the way I look at it, I'm like, if I actually learn something from this and I get 3 new leads in a month, then it's worth it for me. You know what I mean? You got to invest a little bit sometimes once you go down the line. Once you've kind of gotten through all your warm leads and all the people that you've known, you kind of have to start investing to figure out these things. And I don't have the time to sit down and, figure out Instagram. So any tidbits I can get from other people who can tell me, I'm all for it. My life is busy as crap. So I signed up for that. So I'm trying to learn more about hashtags because I have been a coach. I've been a coach for 2 years, not really running the business like I wanted to run the business because life happens, and I always let that take priority over this aspect, which is really important to me. So what my hashtags have always been was Beachbody Coach, Coach Life, 21 Day Fix, 21 Day Fix Extreme, obviously just attracting people who would be posting the same thing. Beachbody coaches. I don't want another Beachbody coach. I want people who need what I have to offer. And that then goes back to my niche. Who am I as a person? Hi, honey. I see a little hand there. that goes back to who I am as a person and what do I stand for and what kind of person am I? And so that's when I started to use that as my hashtag. So a lot of times you'll see pictures of me and Amelia, and there's certain hashtags I don't like to use on my Facebook page, and I'm like more open on my Instagram, and that's just how I am. So people kind of can follow me on more social media type of sites, so they kind of see the different side of me. I don't like to take them all and use them all over. So what I do, and what Shalene also recommended, was once you've made your post, your next comment should be your hashtags. And what you can do is you can copy and paste those into a notepad so you're not rewriting all of them, and post it as a comment. So people aren't necessarily seeing what you're hashtagging, like under their comment, and they see like, you know, that bulk of a hashtag that sometimes like looks salesy. So what I do is I add a few that are really kind of key, important to my picture. And they could kind of be like more eye-catching than an actual hashtag that someone would look at. Like, is this real life? Did that just happen? Like, people aren't really going to use it as a hashtag, but when you're reading my post, you're going to go to that point and be like, what's real life? What just happened? And then you might go back and reread what I actually wrote about. A lot of times with like being a single mom and a kid gets sick and you got to call out work. And as a nurse, it's like, it's an occurrence. You can't call out of work. I'm like, well, my daughter has strep. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Like today I was going to make a post about she got sick again. And for the first time, I'm not calling out of work because I'm my own boss. And like, how good does that feel as a single mom who's always worried about those things? So like at the bottom of my post, and I'll post it later after our call, will be, it feels so good. You know what I mean? Like that has nothing to do with Beachbody or anything of that sort, but it's everything to do with that post, everything to do with being a single mom and experiencing that normal battle that I dealt with every day when I'm rushing to get ready for work, or then she like throws up all over her clothes and I'm running late and I'm trying to do like 1,000 things and wanting to pull out my hair and cry and scream at the same time. But today, for the first time, I was like, I'm not going to be late because I'm my own boss, and they can go screw themselves because I'm creating something for me and my daughter now. So those moments, and I want to attract motivated moms. Hi, Katie. Welcome. I want to attract motivated moms and motivated like parents, people who want to create that life and that stability for their kids and for like for their spouses or whatever that situation is. So using your hashtags correlating to your niche is very important. And posting, we're supposed to be posting, 3 to 5 times a day. If you have 5 things that are your niche, you will have those 5 posts that will be a variety to you throughout the day. So they come hand in hand. They're going to change. Girlfriends and boyfriends are going to turn to husbands and wives. So your niche is going to change again. Your commitment's going to change again. You might go through a life-changing event where you have a passing of a family member. I told you guys my mom had cancer when I was younger. You're going to go through things, and that niche is going to change, and you're going to start noticing new things about you, and you're going to have to share it. So one thing I'm going to tell you guys about myself is before Beachbody, I was private as crap about my life because I felt like nobody cared about what I had to say, and I had a huge trust issue. So if I told you something, I knew you were going to go tell it. Like, that's just how screwed up I was in my head. And honestly, I still feel that way. But what's better than it coming out of my mouth first? So I put my shit out there. Excuse my language. Wow, this is being recorded. Really professional of me over here. I put it out there. I don't hide stuff back. If I have an issue, I say it. If something great happened, I say it. If something bad happened, I say it. I talk about, eating a fry here and there. Like, be real with who you are. Be real with your niche, and find that photo when you're posting it. What are you trying to say with that photo? And use that in your hashtag. Don't say a lot in the caption. Say a lot in that hashtag of, like those one-liners, those big punches that, those top trainers or those top Beachbody coaches are using, that really catches your eye. Or like, my life is changing. I'm taking the next step. Like, the world, like things are like just those like little things that are really so significant and so key. That's what that hashtag could be underneath the picture. Then the comment underneath that could be your niche of people that you're trying to attract. That's one thing. And then Katie, what was the other thing about posting? Did I just cover them both in one section? Yeah, I think I did that. Oops. So yeah, that's really key. Posting throughout the day is really key. Definitely try to, increase your posts throughout the day, posting 3 to 5 times a day. Okay, I'm gonna emphasize. Did I just call you sweetie? I'm losing my mind. Sorry. Okay, so post 3 to 5 times a day. I'm normally not this airheady. I don't know what's happening to me today. I'm like losing my mind. And then your posts that are three to 5 times a day, give them variety. Beachbody is a part of your life. And as excited as you are about this part of your life and how much it's changed you, it doesn't have to be the focal point to everything. A lot of my posts are motivational. A lot of my posts are like inspirational and talking about how my life has changed. And yes, they already know it's because I'm a Beachbody coach, because I've made that known. And I repeatedly make that known once a week or once every other week. I don't need to make it known every day. And neither do you guys. You guys don't need to make it known, what you're doing every day. You can take a picture of a healthy meal and say, I'm shocked I'm actually eating this and enjoying this meal. And people are going to be like, wow, like, let me look further into what she's been doing. It doesn't have to be like 21 Day Fix has changed my life. And I'm like portion controlling. And these are like my red and my yellow and my green containers. And it's so exciting. Like, too much information, word vomit. Don't do it. Make
on the plan, they have no idea what that even means.
Yeah. Make people ask you, what are you doing? Make people message you, what have you done to change your life? Talk about, give them sprinkles, give them breadcrumbs. As we call this breadcrumbing in Beachbody like language. Give them breadcrumbs of what you've done to change your life and those great moments that have happened. And so when someone asks you, Prisa or, Sarah, what did you do? How are you so different now? How do you have so much control over going out and only having one drink? And you're like, it's my coaching life. It's changed my life. That's when you give them the bigger picture. That's when you give them a third-party tool of watch what I do, see what I do. Have you ever considered? Then you invite them into it. What?
Join the sneak peek.
Join a sneak peek, those kind of things. But the biggest thing about all of it is don't be afraid to be you. You are not Christine Dwyer, which is a huge coach. And if you don't know her, don't feel bad. You don't need to know these big coaches. You'll learn them as years go on. But you don't have to be these big coaches you see sponsored on Facebook. That's great. Don't compare yourself. You're not them. You're you. Find out who you are. This whole journey is a huge self-reflection of who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. And people just want to see that journey. You don't have to be fit. You don't have to be a size 0 to be a coach. That's the beauty behind coaching. It's your journey. It's who you are, and just showing the world that I'm not afraid to be me anymore. I've gone through hell. I'm coming out of it. I have my days. I have my shitty days. But it's okay. It's okay that I'm me. And those people who are like you are going to be like, wow, I want to do this too, because I do that too. I fail. And everybody else out there seems so perfect. Those those trainers and, that person on IG that never misses a workout, that's not realistic. I miss a workout all the time. Like, I eat bad once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week. You know what I'm talking about? Like, it happens, and you got to talk about it. Just be real, be true to who you are, and people will like that. They're like, okay, this coaching thing isn't as serious as I thought. I can do it too. And that's what you want them to believe. That's what you want them to think, because it's the truth. So that's really what your niche is all about. It's all about being you, showing who you are, not being afraid of it. And I'm not telling you go out there tonight and put all your dirt out there. Please don't do that. We don't need it all in one night. But sprinkle it, breadcrumb it, talk about it, talk about that ups and downs. Katie, can you tell us a little bit about how Beachbody changed your life? Because you got a pretty intense, amazing story, and I just love hearing it.
Sure. Hi, guys. Sorry I came on so late. It's been a crazy afternoon. So Beachbody. My journey started with same time as Sarah did, actually, in January. About a year and a half before then, so a little over 2 years now, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which is kind of near and dear to me. My mother had it growing up my entire life, and she actually passed away from it when I was 10 years old. So getting diagnosed with that was a huge hit to me in general. I've never been a person that enjoyed the gym. I was never athletic. I ate whatever I wanted. didn't care. It wasn't that big of a deal until I got diagnosed, and everything changed pretty much. And I was pretty lost is not even the word for it, really. I was very depressed. I didn't know how to handle my life, what was going to happen to me in 5 years, 10 years. I had no idea. I just felt like I was spiraling out of control, and my doctor kept telling me, you need to do some type of exercise program. You need to start taking care of yourself and figuring out how to eat better and this, that, and the other. And I could barely comprehend the fact that my life had changed in a blink of an eye, and what was I going to do? So for about a year and a half, I kind of just barely treaded water. I felt like I was just drowning the entire time, trying to figure out how to change my life, what to do. And I always saw Parisa posting all this stuff on Facebook, and a few other friends, Kelly and Molly, about this program called Beachbody and how it was this great thing. And I always thought for a very long time that, oh, that's great for them, but there's something I could never do. And it wasn't for a very long time. And it wasn't even the post of saying, hey, join my challenge group, or hey, do this or that. It was just I feel great. I've taken control of my life. And it was that sentence that kind of was like, part of my French, fuck this. I'm not going to just let my life just fall apart and without me trying to take control back with something else. Like, I might have lost my health for no reason for a certain aspect, but that doesn't mean that I can just kind of give up and roll over. I was 25 at the time when I got diagnosed. It's not going to happen. So in January, I joined the 21-day fix and never realized that I would actually enjoy eating vegetables and fruits and giving up my chips. Now, granted, I eat my chips all the time still, but with everything in moderation, pretty much. To backtrack a little bit, I got diagnosed and I found out something was wrong because I lost feeling in my feet and I couldn't walk more than a few blocks without dragging my leg. And I knew something obviously was wrong. And ever since I've started a workout routine, I've been watching my sodium intake and really monitoring my food. I have basically only have slight numbness in my feet. I try to take a walk every day over a mile, as long as it's not too hot. And that's solely because of Beachbody. The fact that Beachbody and me being able to do the program, granted modified, but being able to do it in the beginning brought my life back. And I don't even know how else to really say that. And I still try to do it every day. And every day that I can do a 25, 30-minute workout, modified or not, that I can do it, I never thought that would be possible less than a year ago. So something that happened so quickly. That's why I love everybody, because my life has just changed. So thank you all. Thank you, Parisa, for always posting. And that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. And why I became a coach.
Yeah. And on top of it, she was my challenger, but never told me what she was going through until she finished a round and she came out with her post, and I cried like a little baby. And then she came out on Facebook publicly as well. So when we're talking about our niches and how a lot of this has given us the support to do the unthinkable for many of us, coming out with our challenges that we've been going through. I know Katie was a person who never talked about her MS at all. Obviously, I've known her for 5 years, and she didn't tell me when it happened. She obviously was like hiding under a rock for some time about it. Even as her coach, she didn't tell me about it. And then all of a sudden she finished 21 days and she came out with how much it's changed her life. And then shortly after that, she came out publicly on Facebook. And I feel like you build a community and you build a sense of support that you never knew existed because you've always held it within. And when you put out that energy, again, that's my spirituality that comes out, the energy. When you put out that energy of what you're going through, it's inevitable that you're going to have a lot of people hating. That's always going to happen. Carissa, I think you deal with a lot of that, right? A lot of haters. Oh my gosh, you poor thing, girl. It's going to happen, but there's always going to be somebody's heart who you're touching and you're reaching, and they're going to be like, you changed my life. And I'm not kidding you. I've been a coach for 2 years, and Katie's story is one that like hits my heart so hard, because it's like, that impact that I made on one person's life by one challenge pack that I sold out of whatever 100 that I've sold made my entire 2 years of busting my butt as a coach and starting from scratch worth it. I love you. I love you so much.
Love you too.
So it's that. I mean, we have like half of us are in like healthcare. Like that's why we became healthcare professionals. That's why I say nursing is one of my niches, is because we did not become nurses. We did not go in the healthcare field to make money. Let's be honest. We don't make money. We don't make any money compared to what we do for people. We did it because we love people and we want to change their life. And sadly, healthcare has changed so much that we're limited to what we can do to impact somebody's life. And with Beachbody, you'll notice as time goes on, the sky is the limit with what you can do for somebody. And all it takes is for one person to succeed in their own parameters for you to feel that desire you felt within that profession. And I'm only using nursing because that's the one I can relate to the most. But the same thing, I mean, watching Katie go through this and watching Sarah when she texted me and she's like, my levels have never been this good. Like, what? This is like mind blowing for me. Like something that I put my faith in because I was a broke single mom and I was 35 pounds overweight and I hated my life. I was like, fuck it. I got to do something. I got to take control over my life. If I go down this path, I won't be there next year for this girl because I'll probably kill myself. Let's be real. So I had to take control over my life. And shortly after that, I was like, I need to do this for other people. Whatever that is that I can give, even if that means cut myself raw and share the hardest things about myself, if it touches one person's life and it saves one person's life to not commit suicide, to not be depressed, or to be aware of what depression is like. It's normal. It's not something that is so abnormal. So many people suffer from it, but don't say anything because they feel they're going to be judged. 90% of the society is depressed. Life is hard. Nobody teaches us how to put up with it. So talking about that openly, one, feels good for me because I don't have to hold it in anymore. Two, when someone tells me, because you said that, changed my perspective of it, changes it all. Gives me that motivation, that push to keep going. And as a coach, that's all I'm asking of you guys, is to dig deep within yourself. It's okay if you cry on this journey. You have your best friends. They always tell you to grab your best friends and come along on this journey because you will find out who you are. And I guarantee you, sorry, do you hear her? Oh my gosh, she's a hot mess back there. I guarantee you where you'll be as a Beachbody coach is at a point in your life that many people never get to. They will live and die, but they'll never understand themselves as deeply as you will as a Beachbody coach if you do this and if you listen to yourself and if you slowly start to share your journey. And never, ever, ever be ashamed of your journey. Never feel like you failed a person, because I have felt like I failed so many people on this coaching journey. Don't feel that way. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't bring yourself down. It is all trial and error. Your coaches are here to help you. I'm here to help you. Sarah's here to help you. We're all here to help you. And help each other out. Sarah's quote unquote my coach or whatever. Like I'm her coach. But today I'm talking to her on the phone and she goes, you need to download this app. I'm like, what app? Like, how do you know about these things? Like, am I that old? Like, what's happening over here? But we're here to help each other. And that's the one thing I love about this. It's like, there is no, you're better than me. You're on top of me. I answer to you. It's like, this is legit a family where we're all in this together to build each other up together so we can all be successful in whatever way whatever that means to you. So the support system here is so real, and it took me a while to realize it. But once you realize it and you kind of like let it all sink in, the sky's the limit with possibilities of what's going to happen to you guys here. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
And then you get guns.
All right, all the way back to the very beginning of our hashtags. When you're making your caption for your photos, make it a caption like you're talking to a close friend. Write your captions as if you were talking to your best friend. Don't focus on one person, because that's going to attract people. I don't know why. That's just what they told me to do, and it works. So just do it.
I think like the biggest thing is like when you first start out, or at least for me, I noticed that like a lot of my captions kind of looked like stiff, like an interview. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I'll have like this little part in the beginning that's like real personal, and then like when you get to the bottom and I like start talking about, you know, the change or whatever, it seems like very like, I don't know, like it was pre-written for me, like it was scripted almost.
A lot of it is very much trial and error.
Yeah.
And for my first post, I had no idea what to do. I was like, where do I start? What do I even write? And Parisa was like, I'll tag you in something that worked really well for me. Write one for yourself and send it to me before you post it. So if any of you don't know if this is something good you should post, if you don't know, like, if it needs some help, send it to somebody. Ask them what they think. You know, send the picture, send the caption, say, is this good? Do you think I should post this? When do you think I should post this? I know that Parisa and I don't know if Carissa, did you change your Instagram over to business?
Yeah, I did.
Instagram now has this thing where you can like change it over to business, and it'll show you the insights on your followers. So it'll show you their age, where they're located, what time they're most active, what day of the week they're most active, which I thought was really helpful because for my followers, they're really, really active at 9 p.m. every day, 9 p.m. So if I have something that's like really strong as a post, I make sure to post at 9 p.m. because I know it's going to reach the most followers. If I have something that's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'll post it in the morning because there's not that many people on my Instagram that are on. So I would definitely suggest that. It doesn't really do anything besides it'll link your email, which still might be helpful. I've gotten a couple leads because of that. And that's the only difference that I've noticed. Anything else that you guys have noticed about business Instagram?
Mine, I had to set up my like page before I could set up my business Instagram too.
Okay, so you have to have a like page, but that's not a bad thing either because maybe not right now, but maybe, you know, when you get a little bigger in the business, you're not going to want to attract all these random people to your actual Facebook. You're going to want to attract them to a like page because then it's not like so personal. And you can filter what they see and how they see it because it's not like your personal stuff and your business stuff combined. Yeah. So I set one up initially because I just didn't feel like dealing with all of it. And it was just like, why not? But that was like an easy thing to do. Plus, it'll just help because it's kind of hard to get people to like things. And if you don't want to post Beachbody on your regular page, those people can go and like your business page and see all the stuff that you're posting anyways. So I definitely suggest doing that. It's helped me a lot. I haven't really had like, and you can see the insights on it. So I like that. Like,
the reason why I did it.
What?
The reason why I did the like page was because of all of like the negative things that people were posting. And I was like, if I don't want you to see it, then you just don't have to see it.
Yeah, you don't have to like the page. Yeah, that's the reason.
What negative things were they saying? I meant to like go stalk you and find it, but
I deleted them because I didn't want them on my posts. But a lot of it, and it's sad because it was like a lot of it was family members. But I can't remember exactly. One said I looked like a corpse.
One of them was like, there you go again with like word vomit. And like a lot of it was like negativity.
The vomit one was my uncle making fun of my stepdad and being like, you're an ass.
I don't know, but I remember Carissa when I was like, you should come out about being a coach. And she was like, no, like, I don't want to hear anything from my boyfriend's friends and this, that, and the other. And I was like, what would they say? And as soon as she posted it, it was on. And I was like, I just want to cuss all you out.
Yeah, it was like a lot about like.
Because I'm like, she's putting herself out there for the world to see. And you're over here bashing her for doing something good for herself. Like, who are you?
Yeah.
And I'll give you the right to do this.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
Like, a lot of the people like that Christina and I used to work with, I was like, nope, you are not liking this page. No way. And like,
you can invite people to like it, so they don't have to see it.
Exactly. So that's one reason why I did it too. So, and it is easier too. It's an easier, less personal way, like less with like your personal information too.
Yeah.
Like said, whenever you do get bigger, you don't want people that you don't know, these random people, to
How are
access.
you?
You
Yeah.
know.
I was going to say something, but I forgot. Kelly sent me our upline. So not my coach. Parisa's my coach. Parisa's coach sent us the 12 different types of posts. So I posted that in our page.
Perfect.
There was one more thing and I cannot remember. Actually, I guess 2 more things. So our next assignment, because I like assignments because I'm nerdy like that, I think everybody should write their non-negotiables. So every month you should have a list of non-negotiables. So my non-negotiables are drink Shakeology every day, eat my containers every day, work out every day, and then for every month I want to at least hit Success Club 5. And that's a non-negotiable, like no matter what, it's happening. And if I don't hit those, it's like I'm not breathing. Like it has to happen. Every month, I don't care what the circumstances are, it needs to happen. And that's one way that I guarantee that I just make X, Y, and Z amount per month that I need to make for X, Y, and Z bills. So I want everybody to make their list of what their non-negotiables are. Obviously, drinking Shakeology should be on it and working out. And I'd like all of my girls to hit Success Club 5 because it opens doors to things. I was talking to Carissa about talking to 5 people every day. I know that's not one of my non-negotiables, but it should be because the more people you talk to, the more likely you are to get a yes. The more likely you are to influence everybody else's life.
And that's something I have been doing almost every day. I'll just scroll through, and if it's someone I haven't seen on Facebook, even if I'm just scrolling through my newsfeed, I'll just message them or I started liking more things and commenting on more things, so I'm not just like some random person with a hidden agenda being like, hey, how are you? Buy my stuff. Hey.
Yeah.
So
And sometimes just making that conversation, it doesn't have to be ever about Beachbody, but having the genuine conversation, like catching up with that person, maybe 6 months, a year down the road, they'll be in the store or shopping for a fitness program or shopping for a meal plan or something that you can offer them. And then they will think of you when they're looking for it because they'll be like, oh, she was genuinely kind to me and wanted to help and cared about what my life was like. So that's always something good. Sometimes I'll just message people and, say, congratulations on the new baby. How are you? Haven't talked to you in X, Y, and Z. And nothing about Beachbody, just catching up and making them know that I'm not all sales. I'm a genuine person that cares about their well-being and them.
I have a question. How many people here have their mega list or know what a mega list is? Who has a mega list? Put your hand up. Hand up. Okay.
Who has started one? Who started one?
Okay.
Okay, that's the list. That's the first thing to do besides the non-negotiables.
So I want all of you guys, and what the mega list is, I posted a video about this briefly too. Not briefly, it was long, sorry. I was breaking it down. So just kind of jot down a list of 100+ names of, scroll through your Facebook friends and just write down the list on paper and pen, if that's easiest for you. Write down the list of people that you would love to do this. And when I'm saying love to do this, that doesn't mean they would never do it or they're to this for this. No, if you literally just saw them and you're like, man, I'd love for them to join me on this journey, add their name. If it's a person you would never want to ever work with or ever have in your group of circle, don't write their name down. That's pointless. But 100 people, write those names down, take a picture of it. 50 people, I don't care how many people. The more the merrier. Take a picture of that and post it into our group just so we can see that you did this. This is the number one most crucial thing that you can do for your business is working from a list. After that, you can run this business, a very successful business, in 1 hour a day. But you need that list. That's your number one goal. Make that list. After that, we'll talk about what you'll do. We could talk about a power hour. Once you have a mega list and know a power hour, you're set. And you just duplicate that every single day, and then you build off of that. So you want to go somewhere in this business, even if you just want to make $5, make that mega list. It takes 5 minutes to do.
The memory jogger is also in there, and that will help you find 100 people, because I know I didn't know 100 people that I wanted in my business. So look at that if you're having trouble finding your 100 people. It's really helpful.
All right, it's going to close us out. So I'm going to say bye. Oh.
Sure, bye.
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 Okay. How to get Katie in it. Okay, bye.
Bye.
I don't even know, taking a picture.